In the vastness of space, humanity's first encounter with alien life didn't come through a message from the stars or a mysterious object entering our solar system. Instead, it came as a desperate plea for help. On a quiet Tuesday morning in 2157, every electronic device on Earth simultaneously displayed the same cryptic message. To the inhabitants of Sol 3, we require immediate assistance. Our fleet faces catastrophic failure. You are our last hope. The message came from a massive alien fleet stranded at the edge of our solar system, their advanced technology rendered useless by an encounter with an anomalous energy field. Their ships, once capable of crossing galaxies, now drifted helplessly through space. What made this situation truly extraordinary wasn't just the aliens' advanced technology or their desperate situation. It was the fact that they specifically sought human help. You see, while their civilization had mastered faster-than-light travel and developed technology we could barely comprehend, they had lost something essential along the way: the ability to think creatively in crisis situations. Their highly structured, logic-based society had evolved to rely completely on automated systems and predetermined protocols. When those systems failed, they found themselves paralyzed, unable to devise novel solutions. The global response was immediate and unprecedented. Within hours, the United Nations convened an emergency session, and the world's brightest minds were called upon to assist. Engineers, physicists, and problem solvers from every corner of the Earth began working around the clock. What followed was perhaps the greatest demonstration of human ingenuity in our species' history. Leading the charge was Dr. Sarah Chen, a quantum mechanics professor from MIT who had spent her career being told her unconventional approaches to spacecraft propulsion were too risky. Now those same out-of-the-box ideas would prove invaluable. Working alongside her was Commander David Rodriguez, a veteran space rescue specialist known for pulling off seemingly impossible missions with whatever resources were at hand. As the team delved deeper into the aliens' technical specifications, they discovered something remarkable. The solution wouldn't require matching the aliens' advanced technology. It would require going back to basics. Human history was filled with examples of surviving and thriving with limited resources, from ancient seafarers navigating by stars to modern space missions recovering from near-catastrophic failures through improvisation. The clock was ticking. The alien fleet's life support systems were failing, and their remaining power reserves were dropping at an alarming rate. Earth's team had less than 72 hours to devise and implement a solution before the fleet would reach a point of no return. The pressure was immense. Humanity's first contact with an alien civilization might end in tragedy before it truly began. But as the initial plans came together, something unexpected happened. The aliens watched in fascination as humans approached problems in ways their society had forgotten centuries ago. Simple mechanical solutions, creative use of basic physics, and the ability to adapt and improvise on the fly. These were the traits that might save their entire fleet. What followed would become known as Operation Lighthouse, humanity's daring attempt to rescue an advanced civilization using nothing but human ingenuity, basic physics, and that unique trait that had driven our species from cave-dwelling primitives to spacefaring pioneers: the absolute refusal to accept failure as an option. As Commander Rodriguez's team prepared to launch the first phase of their rescue mission, no one could have predicted how this encounter would change both civilizations forever. The question wasn't just whether humanity could save the alien fleet, it was whether this moment would mark the beginning of humanity's greatest adventure among the stars. But as the rescue ships prepared for launch, a disturbing revelation emerged that would force everyone to question everything they thought they knew about this historic encounter. As the International Rescue Fleet approached the stranded alien ships, their sensors detected something that defied explanation. The energy readings from the alien vessels didn't match the data they had transmitted to Earth. More puzzling still, the patterns of power fluctuation seemed eerily familiar to Dr. Chen. They mirrored an experimental Earth propulsion system that had been abandoned decades ago due to its instability. Commander Rodriguez ordered the rescue fleet to maintain a safe distance while they conducted deeper scans. Through the command ship's viewport, the alien fleet was a breathtaking sight: 12 massive vessels that seemed to shimmer like liquid metal in the dim light of the distant sun. but beneath their beautiful exterior, something wasn't adding up. These power signatures, Dr. Chen muttered, her eyes fixed on the readings scrolling across her screen. They're not random failures. They're following a pattern. She turned to Commander Rodriguez, her face pale. David, these ships aren't just stranded. They're transforming. The revelation sent shockwaves through the rescue team. The aliens had been forthcoming about their technological crisis, but they had failed to mention that their ships were undergoing some kind of metamorphosis. Was this deliberate deception, or were they themselves unaware of what was happening to their fleet? Communication with the alien vessels remained open, but their responses to questions about the energy patterns became increasingly evasive. The alien commander, who had identified itself only as First Speaker, insisted that time was running out and urged the human rescue team to proceed with their planned intervention. Back on Earth, analysts working around the clock made another startling discovery. Hidden within the original distress signal were layers of encrypted data, vast amounts of information about human history, culture, and most notably, our species' remarkable ability to adapt and evolve. The aliens hadn't randomly stumbled upon Earth. They had been studying us, perhaps for centuries. Dr. Chen's team worked feverishly to decode more of the encrypted data while Commander Rodriguez grappled with an impossible decision. The alien fleet's situation was indeed critical. Their life support systems were failing, but proceeding with the rescue mission without understanding the full picture could put both humanity and the rescue team at risk. The situation became even more complex when the rescue fleet's sensors detected faint traces of organic material spreading through the alien ship's hull structures. It was as if the vessels themselves were becoming living entities, growing and changing in ways that defied our understanding of both biology and technology. "We're missing something fundamental here," Dr. Chen announced during an emergency briefing. "These aliens chose us specifically because of our ability to think creatively, to solve problems in unexpected ways. But what if that's not the whole truth? What if they need something else from us, something uniquely human?" The question hung in the air as the rescue team watched new energy patterns ripple across the alien fleet's hulls. The vessel's transformation was accelerating, and with it, the window for rescue, or retreat, was rapidly closing. Whatever decision they made would have to be made soon. Adding to the tension, the rescue fleet's communication officers reported picking up fragments of internal conversations between the alien ships. The translations were rough, but they contained repeated references to something called the Great Convergence and human potential as catalysts. As Commander Rodriguez prepared to make his final decision, Dr. Chen made one last desperate attempt to cross-reference the alien fleet's energy patterns with historical human experiments. What she discovered in those final moments would challenge everything they thought they knew about human evolution, technological advancement, and our species' true place in the cosmic order. But before she could share her discovery, the alien fleet began to pulse with an intense light that bathed the rescue ships in an otherworldly glow. The otherworldly light engulfing the rescue fleet pulsed in perfect synchronization with human heartbeats. As the crew watched in awe, Dr. Chen's voice cut through the stunned silence. "These energy patterns, they're trying to match our biological rhythms. The aliens aren't just stranded, they're attempting to bridge a gap between organic and artificial life." Her revelation was interrupted by an urgent transmission from First Speaker. The alien's usually measured voice carried an edge of desperation. "We have hidden the truth not out of deception, but necessity. Our civilization's evolution led us down a path of pure logic and technological perfection. But we lost something precious, the spark of organic adaptation, the beautiful chaos of natural evolution." Commander Rodriguez ordered all rescue ships to maintain position as the alien vessels continued their transformation. The once metallic hulls now rippled like living tissue, their surfaces taking on an almost translucent quality. Through the shifting layers, complex networks of energy that resembled human neural patterns were becoming visible. Dr. Chen's team worked frantically to process the new data pouring in. The aliens had reached a technological plateau centuries ago, their pursuit of perfection ultimately leading to stagnation. They had been searching the galaxy for a species that still possessed the capacity for genuine evolution, not just biological but cultural and technological. They found that species in humanity. They don't just need our help to save their fleet, Dr. Chen explained, her voice trembling with the weight of understanding. They need our help to save their entire civilization from evolutionary dead end. But the process they're attempting is incredibly dangerous. If it fails, it could destroy both their fleet and our rescue ships. The situation reached a critical point when the alien vessels began forming unexpected connections with each other, streams of living energy arcing between their hulls. First speaker's next transmission was fragmented, but its meaning was clear. We require human presence within our ships to complete transformation. Without direct neural interface, process will fail. All will be lost. Commander Rodriguez faced an impossible choice. The fate of an entire alien civilization hung in the balance, but allowing crew members to board the transforming vessels would put their lives at unprecedented risk. The aliens' desperate gamble could either mark the beginning of a revolutionary partnership between species or end in catastrophic failure. Dr. Chen stepped forward, her decision already made. "I'll go," she said, her voice steady despite the fear visible in her eyes. "My understanding of both the technology and the theoretical framework makes me the most qualified." She paused, looking at the shimmering alien ships. "Besides, if they wanted to harm us, they could have done so already." As the rescue team prepared for this dangerous next step, the alien vessel's transformation accelerated. The neural-like patterns within their structures grew more complex, and the energy pulses matching human heartbeats grew stronger. It was as if the ships were preparing themselves for direct contact with human consciousness. Before Dr. Chen boarded the shuttle that would take her to the alien flagship, Commander Rodriguez gripped her shoulder. "Sarah, if anything feels wrong, anything at all, you abort immediately. We're not losing anyone today." She nodded, knowing that once she stepped onto the alien vessel, everything would change. As the shuttle approached the transformed alien ship, its hull seemed to reach out, forming what looked like an organic airlock. Dr. Chen took one last look at the rescue fleet behind her, took a deep breath, and stepped into the unknown. The moment she crossed the threshold, every screen on every human vessel erupted with cascading data, and a sound like a million voices speaking in unison echoed through space. The moment Dr. Chen crossed the alien ship's threshold, time seemed to fold in on itself. The million voices speaking in unison weren't alien at all. They were human. Echoing through her mind were fragments of every human thought, discovery, and breakthrough throughout history. The alien vessel wasn't just connecting with her consciousness, it was accessing humanity's collective journey of evolution and innovation. Commander Rodriguez watched in horror as Dr. Chen collapsed inside the alien ship's entrance. But before he could order a rescue mission, first speaker's voice returned, clearer than ever. "She is safe. She is experiencing the integration, something we thought impossible until we discovered Earth. Your species holds within its cellular memory the key to true adaptation." The data flooding the rescue fleet's screens began to form patterns, revealing an even more startling truth. These aliens hadn't just been studying humanity, they were our distant descendants. Hundreds of thousands of years in the future, human civilization had achieved technological perfection at the cost of losing their biological adaptability. Now they had traveled back through time, seeking to prevent their own stagnation by reconnecting with their ancestral selves. Inside the alien vessel, Dr. Chen experienced centuries of human evolution in moments. She saw how our descendants had slowly replaced their organic components with artificial ones, seeking immortality and perfection. But with each upgrade, each enhancement, they lost something fundamental, the beautiful imperfection that drove innovation and change. The transformation isn't just about saving their fleet, she managed to transmit back to Commander Rodriguez. It's about saving humanity's future. But there's something else. Her voice trailed off as new information flooded her consciousness. The aliens' journey through time had created a paradox, one that threatened to unravel the very fabric of space-time itself. The alien ship's transformation accelerated, their structures now pulsing with both human and alien energy patterns. First speaker revealed the final piece of the puzzle. Their mission wasn't just about preventing their civilization's stagnation. They needed to merge their advanced technology with humanity's adaptive capabilities to seal a growing temporal rift, one that their time travel had created. Commander Rodriguez received urgent messages from Earth. Similar energy patterns were appearing in ancient archaeological sites around the globe. The aliens hadn't just visited Earth recently. They had been guiding human development for millennia, preparing us for this very moment. Each historical leap in human innovation had been a carefully orchestrated step leading to this convergence. Dr. Chen's voice crackled through the communication system again, but this time it carried an otherworldly resonance. David, I understand now. The aliens, our descendants, they're not just transforming their ships. They're trying to transform the entire timeline. But the process is unstable. If we proceed, everything could change. If we don't, both our present and their future will collapse. The alien fleet began to arrange itself in a complex geometric pattern, energy arcing between vessels in ways that defied physical laws. First Speaker's final transmission carried both hope and warning. The convergence requires a choice, your choice. The future of both our civilizations depends on the next few moments. As Commander Rodriguez wrestled with this impossible decision, Dr. Chen made contact one last time. But her message sent chills through the entire rescue fleet. David, wait. There's something else here. Something that's been waiting for this moment. We're not alone. The transmission cut off abruptly as a massive shape began emerging from the void between the alien ships, its presence sending shockwaves through both space and time. The massive shape materializing between the alien ships took form, a swirling vortex of pure energy that seemed to connect different points in time and space. Through the rescue fleet's viewports, the crew watched as fragments of Earth's past, present, and future became visible within its spiral patterns. The entity wasn't hostile. It was time itself, manifesting in response to the paradox. Commander Rodriguez's command console suddenly displayed a message unlike any other, coordinates and instructions, written in Dr. Chen's handwriting, but dated 50 years in the future. The message was clear. The rescue fleet needed to arrange itself in a precise formation, creating a mirror image of the alien fleet's pattern. Only by synchronizing both fleets could they stabilize the temporal rift. Inside the alien vessel, Dr. Chen had become a bridge between past and future. Through her consciousness, the advanced technology of humanity's descendants began to merge with the raw, adaptable potential of present-day humans. The process was dangerous, but it was working. The aliens' ships were no longer just transforming, they were evolving, becoming something entirely new. First Speaker's final revelation echoed through all channels. We did not travel back in time to prevent our fate. We came to ensure it happens differently. The stagnation of our civilization was not a mistake. It was necessary to bring us to this moment, to this perfect fusion of past and future. As both fleets moved into position, the entity of time itself began to pulse in rhythm with their synchronized movements. Dr. Chen's voice returned, now carrying the weight of centuries. The choice was never about saving them or changing the timeline. It's about accepting our role in the greater cycle of human evolution. We're not meant to prevent their future. We're meant to create a better one. Commander Rodriguez gave the order that would change human history forever. Both fleets engaged their drives simultaneously, channeling energy into the temporal vortex. The aliens' ships began to merge with their human counterparts, not through destruction, but through transformation. As the process reached its peak, Dr. Chen's consciousness expanded through both fleets, guiding the convergence. The vortex collapsed inward, taking with it the paradox that had threatened to unravel time itself. In its place stood 12 new vessels, neither purely human nor purely alien, but something transcendent. The ships hummed with living energy, their structures adapting and evolving even as the crew watched. They had become bridges between what humanity was and what it could become. Dr. Chen emerged from the transformed flagship, forever changed but still fundamentally human. The knowledge of centuries lived in her mind, but instead of overwhelming her, it had given her a profound understanding of humanity's true potential. We were never meant to achieve perfection, she explained to the awestruck crew. We were meant to never stop growing, never stop changing. First Speaker's final message came not through communication channels, but as a shared understanding in every human mind present. Their descendants hadn't come to prevent their evolution into technological beings, but to ensure that humanity retained its most precious gift, the ability to adapt, to change, to remain imperfect yet ever striving. As the new fleet prepared to depart, carrying both human and alien crews toward an uncertain but promising future, Dr. Chen shared one last discovery. The temporal entity hadn't appeared by chance. It was the universe itself, responding to humanity's greatest leap forward. But as the transformed ships engaged their new drives, a faint signal reached them from the depths of space. Other civilizations, watching and waiting, had witnessed humanity's transformation, and they too had questions that only human ingenuity could answer. In the months that followed humanity's greatest leap forward, Earth underwent a transformation of its own. The knowledge gained from the convergence didn't just advance our technology, it changed our understanding of what it meant to be human. The merged fleet, now called the Evolution Initiative, established a base in Earth's orbit, serving as a bridge between our present and the countless possibilities that lay ahead. Dr. Chen's role shifted from quantum physicist to humanity's guide through this new era. The memories and knowledge from countless futures lived in her mind not as a burden, but as a roadmap. She worked closely with scientists and leaders worldwide, helping them understand that true progress wasn't about reaching perfection. It was about maintaining the delicate balance between advancement and adaptation. Commander Rodriguez took charge of the Evolution Initiative's first mission beyond our solar system. The signals they'd received from distant civilizations weren't just calls for help. They were invitations. Other species throughout the galaxy had reached similar crossroads in their development, and Earth's successful merger of organic adaptation with technological advancement had shown them a new path forward. The transformed ships proved to be more than anyone could have imagined. They weren't just vessels for space travel. They were living laboratories of evolution, each one continuously adapting to new challenges and environments. The crews aboard them experienced something unprecedented, a perfect harmony between biological and technological growth, where each change made them not just different, but better. Back on Earth, the impact of the convergence rippled through society. The fear of losing our humanity to technology began to fade as people understood the true lesson of our future descendants. Technology wasn't a replacement for human qualities. It was a tool to enhance them. Schools started teaching what became known as adaptive thinking, the uniquely human ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn as circumstances changed. First speakers' consciousness lived on in the merged fleet's databases, not as a traditional AI, but as a living memory of the future that humanity had chosen to transform. Their final gift to Earth was a warning turned promise. The universe wasn't a place of endings, but of continuous beginnings. Each challenge humanity would face was not a test to overcome, but an opportunity to evolve. As the Evolution Initiative prepared for its first diplomatic mission to distant stars, Dr. Chen made one final public address from the deck of the flagship. We stand here today not as the saviors of our descendants, but as the architects of a new kind of future. Our greatest strength was never our technology or our intelligence. It was our ability to change, to adapt, to remain beautifully imperfect while always striving to be better. The signal from deep space grew stronger as more civilizations learned of Earth's breakthrough. Each carried their own story of reaching for the stars, of seeking perfection, and of realizing that true evolution meant embracing uncertainty. Humanity's role had become clear. We were to be the guides, showing others that the path forward wasn't about choosing between organic and artificial, between past and future, but about finding ways to let them dance together. Commander Rodriguez stood on his bridge, watching Earth grow smaller as they began their journey to the stars. Behind him, crews of humans worked alongside interfaces that pulsed with the living consciousness of their descendants' technology. Dr. Chen's words echoed through his mind. We didn't save them, we saved ourselves, and in doing so, we might just help save the universe. As the merged fleet engaged their drives, preparing to make their first leap into the unknown, the stars themselves seemed to pulse with possibility. Humanity had not just answered a distress call from their own future. They had answered the universe's call for something more precious than perfection, the endless capacity to grow, to change, and to dream of better tomorrows.